Here we are going to see the Unit 2 in Constitution of India. First we are going to see about the President of India. And President of India is the head of the country, and President is the first citizen of India, and President works as a head of the government. Head of the government and parliament and armed forces. But in reality, most of the powers are used by the President and Council of Ministers. These prime minister and council of ministers should act based on their advice of president, and these are the powers and functions the president have, like executive power, legislative power, financial, emergency, diplomatic, military, and bargaining. There is so much of powers, and these are the few main powers. First, executive powers. President can appoint the prime ministers, ministers, governors, judges in Supreme Courts or High Courts or Chief Justice, like that. Presidents can run the government through ministers. In legislative powers, these summons and dissolves the parliament. President signs bills passed by parliament to make them laws, and he can issue an ordinance. Ordinance means a temporary law. When he can pass means when the parliament is not in session. And in financial power, no money can be spent by the government without the president's approval in parliament. And the president presents the union budget based on the finance minister. And military powers means supreme commander. President is the supreme commander of the army, navy, and air force. Presidents can declare war or peace, but only with the parliament's approval. In bargaining means remissions of punishment to any person who has been convicted by the court of law, and these powers is under the article of 72 in Indian Constitution. And next, like let's imagine India wants to start a new rule about digital safety. Means the parliament first discusses and pass the bill to the president, and the bill goes to the president signs it. Now it becomes the law for whole country. Similarly, if someone is in the jail and a request for mercy means the president has the power to cancel those punishment to the people, to the person who request for mercy. Okay. Next we are going to see about the Council of Ministers. Council of Ministers is the group of ministers who help the president run the government. They are appointed by the prime minister on the advice of the they are appointed by the president on the advice of the prime minister. Both are make a discussions and make different departments like education, health, and defense, like that. And we have the three main levels in ministers, like cabinet minister, ministry of states, and deputy minister. Cabinet ministers means they are the most important ministers. They can handle big departments like finance, defense, home, educations, like that. Ministry of state means they assist cabinet ministers, sometimes have their own smaller departments. And deputy minister is the junior most minister, like who help in small tasks and implementations. And what are the functions and powers they have means they helps the prime minister in making and carrying out policies, and advises the president on every actions what the president do. And they runs different departments and make laws and implement them to the whole world, to the whole India, and are responsible to Lok Sabha. If they lose majority support, they must resign. For example, suppose we have facing an health Corona COVID-19. At that time, the Prime Minister leads the meeting. The Health Minister plans hospitals, vaccines, and medical support. The Finance Minister provides money for relief, and Transport Minister arranges trains and buses for people. They are together. Council of Ministers works as a team to solve the problem during our COVID-19 period. Next, you are going to see the powers and functions of Prime Minister. And Prime Minister of India is the real head of the government. Prime Minister has the most important powers in running the country. The President is the head of the nation, but the Prime Minister is the one who actually takes decision and leads the ministers. And his main functions and powers is leader. He heads the Council of Ministers and decides what the government should actually do. The President acts mostly on the Prime Minister's advice. Example, whom to appoint as ministers, and whom whom to resign as ministers, like that. In Prime Minister chooses the ministers and distributes their work, and he can remove them whenever they want. And Prime Minister decides policy on economy, defense, education, and foreign relations, etc. Prime Minister is the leader of the Lok Sabha and answer questions, explains government work and defense policies. It represents India in other countries, sign treaties and build foreign relations is the Prime Minister's role. And for example, if suppose India wants to start a new education policy, means the Prime Minister discusses with ministers and experts. The Prime Minister decides the main point of the policy, and Education Minister announces and implements it. But the main decision and leadership come from the Prime Minister. Or if there is, in some other example is, if there is a flood in a state, means the Prime Minister directs the Home Minister and Finance Minister to send a relief fund and a rescue team to that place which is affected, which is really affected. Okay. And next we are going to see about the Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha is the lower house of the parliament. In our parliament, we have the three major parts, which is Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha, and the president. The presidents we already seen. Now we are going to see about the Lok Sabha. Lok Sabha is the lower house of the parliament, and it is also called as the house of the parliament. Why it called as house of the parliament means members are directly elected by the people of India. Okay, it is the most powerful part of parliament. Main thing is members are called members of parliament, MPs. At present, Lok Sabha has 545 members, and 543 were elected and 2 were nominated by the president. And members are elected for 5 years. The leader of the majority party in Lok Sabha becomes the Prime Minister. Lok Sabha controls the Council of Ministers. If minister lost majority in Lok Sabha, they must resign. And main functions of Lok Sabha means they discusses and passes the bills. They budget, taxes, and government spending must be approved by Lok Sabha. And they can question ministers and even remove them by no confidence motion. Prime Minister comes from the majority party in Lok Sabha. And for example, if the government wants to start a new project, means new proposal is introduced in Lok Sabha. After the members discussed, they suggest some changes and vote them. If the majority supports, means the bill goes to the Rajya Sabha, and then Rajya Sabha should answer to the Lok Sabha within the 14 days. If they don't answer, means then the bill will pass to the presidents without permissions of the Rajya Sabha. This shows the Lok Sabha's powers in making laws. The president, after the president's approved, and it becomes a law. Another example means, we can say, if a people feel the government is not working properly, means MP in Lok Sabha can pass no confidence motion. If they passed, means the Prime Minister and Council of Ministers must be resigned. That is the main power of the Lok Sabha. And next we are going to see about the Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha is the next powerful house in the parliament. Rajya Sabha is the upper house of the parliament, and it is also called as the Council of States because it represents the states and union territories of India. It's not like a Lok Sabha. It is a permanent body, but it is never dissolved. But 1/3 of the members retire every 2 years. And these members' maximum strength is 250 members now, and 38 elected by the MLAs, state legislative, and 12 were nominated by the presidents based on the art, literature, science, sports, etc. And these members are elected for 6 years. Vice President of India is the chairman of the Rajya Sabha. Their main functions of Rajya Sabha is works with Lok Sabha to pass bill, and they can question ministers and discuss policies, and they can protect the interest of states in national matters. They can allow parliament to make laws on subjects from the state list. Even if Lok Sabha is dissolved, Rajya Sabha continues to work. If the government wants a new protection environment law, means the bill is passed in Lok Sabha, then it goes to the Rajya Sabha. Rajya Sabha discusses it, may suggest changes, and majority agrees, means the bill goes to the president. This shows Rajya Sabha's role in law making. And next one, we are going to see the speaker. Speaker is the head of the Lok Sabha. He means the speaker is like a class teacher of Lok Sabha, maintains orders and disciplines. This speaker is elected by the member of Lok Sabha from among themselves. Main function of speaker means speaker makes sure members follow rules and don't shout or fight in the parliament, and they decides who will speak, gives time to MP, and manages debates. The speaker can decide whether the bill is a money bill or not, and the speaker can normally does not vote, but they can change the casting vote. Tiebreaker, if the voting is a tiebreaker, means at that time only they can able to vote. And the speaker in all official matters and can warn, suspend, or remove members for bad behavior in Lok Sabha. For example, if there is a heated debate in Lok Sabha about the budget, means MPs are shouting and interrupting each other, means the speaker rings the bell and asks for silence and allows one MP to speak at that time. If the situation is not under control, means the speaker can even suspend members. Okay. And